Hey, what's up, guys? I got another deck list for you today. Of course, I'm going to be starting off with Red Ruthless Videl. It's a deck that I've always really liked since she came out. It's been one of my favorites, and I think you guys will enjoy it. This is just an update for the end of set 12 here. Of course, set 13 is scheduled to be coming up during the TOP, which ideally should be happening probably, if it was my guess, it's probably going to be in like August or September. But anyway, as we're running out the end of this OP season, I figure I'll just run through the current list that I have. I haven't really put too many games on this list. I think only like a couple, but it works pretty good. Generally speaking, I don't think she's changed a lot between set like 10 and now to 12. I think they're like the two main differences between Ruthless Videl decks you're going to see is whether or not she's running Unleashed or not, and I think Videl is one of those MPs that needs Unleashed really bad. She lacks built-in anger support like Maj Vegeta does. Like Maj Vegeta can get away without running Unleashed, Broly can get away without running Unleashed because they have anger built in their levels. Videl only has anger on her level 1. And her name card, Eagle Kick, while it's a cool card and all, it's not that. I don't think it's really that good. I'd rather be, especially through this mastery, be rather running the freestyle, not running freestyle cards, but be running the styled cards for that modifier. So we'll go through the list here. Of course, like I said, Unleashed, she needs to get up, and she also gets the added benefit of being able to run Trailing Blast. If you don't know, the Trailing Blast did get errated from Panini Z to Fan Z, to where you can only use it if you're 500,000 or less in your level 4 power level. So that means when she pops an Unleashed, she can go put Trailing Blast on, and then when she levels herself up, she gets to put it back in her hand, which means you can reveal the Trailing Blast out of your hand for free. You know, pretty much you gave yourself a +1 in hand for 1, which you're going to throw as an attack, or you can reveal it to your mastery to get a free extra attack too. So it's just a lot of value. That's another reason why to run Unleashed, on top of the fact that she just skyrockets in power as she hits her 3 and 4. There's definitely going to be times where you might even want to unleash yourself down from level 4 to 3 to get rid of some board cards and stuff. And again, if you're not familiar with her stack, you know, her level 1 gives you an anger every time you play an AT physical, which helps you get up to 2. 2 makes your AT statically 3. 3 gives a static AT of 4, and level 4 gives you static AT of 5. So it's really, really strong. On top of the Ruthless Mastery modifier, you're going to be dropping a lot of physical attacks for like 8, 9, 10, 11 stages. It's pretty cool. Again, Videl has some built-in anger hate on level 2, which is really nice, on top of the Ruthless Mastery. It means it makes it really hard for a lot of decks to level against you, so it's just a really good pairing in that sense. And we add in Dev Blow. Dev Blow is one of those cards I think you could definitely maybe not run in Ruthless Videl because you want the style count, but Dev Blow is such a good card with MPs like Spring Kai, with Recursion always just being super, super strong. It's hard to not run this card. It's so good with Videl, especially considering she gets the static AT buff, where she's always going to be hitting this for like 4, 5, 6 stages, which is really cool. So, and it gives you 2 anger on level 1. So again, really, really good card, all around great. And those are about the only freestyle cards we run. I think it's those 2, Time as Warrior's Tool, and Energy Sphere. The deck list is a little kind of organized slightly. I do run 3 Sphere, I do run 1 Time. 3 Sphere, just mandatory. I think the Sphere is really good. It doesn't mess up your tempo and your sequencing. There's so many strong events too. Having this card in your hand protects you from so many when entering combat effects, end of combat effects and things. So super, super good. We go into the attacks now that are styled, which we have a lot. Of course, we're Double Strike. This is a 4 anger card in level 1. This is a card that's going to help you get off level 2 to get to 3 and 4. Super, super strong. Videl, of course, giving the static AT buff means Double Strike is coming in for 5 stages on level 2 each use, if you have the Mastery effect going, which gives you +2. So, AT3, 5 stages, hits Lords their anger twice, gives you 2 anger. Super, super good. One of your favorite cards that you're going to see in Videl is going to be this card. Furious Lunge is in here mainly for the endurance and like the potential anger. That's really what it's in here for. Just the anger and endurance. The guy at 3, you know. So Red Heel Kick at 3. Again, like there might be times where you want to sit on level 3 longer. Level 1 can generate you a ton of anger, to where you can actually get this card to go grab like a Double Strike, and pretty much the attack grab on this card is free with Videl level 1 almost, because you raise your anger 1 when you play it, or sorry, when you perform this card, and then you get an anger 1 immediately. So immediately, like if you're on level 1, this is always going to be able to grab you another attack, which is really cool. Red Shadow Leap at 2, this is kind of like a win more card in a sense, but not quite. It's one of your finishers. You get on level 2, 3, 4, especially on like 3 and 4. Again, this is going to be an 86 physical with your mastery. If you're level 3, it's going to be 9-stage physical, 10-stage physical level, or sorry, level 2 it's a 9-stage physical, etc., etc. You understand that goes up, but this is definitely like a finisher card here. Really, really good. Knee lift. Really, really good. I have it in here more for the tech. I love having it. It doesn't do the most damage in the world, but the utility of just that crit, it lets us kind of skimp out on some red energy blast. Kind of like makes it okay to not run a red energy blast running this card. I say kind of because you still lack the drill hate, but you get the ally hate, which is probably more important. It gives you a little ball control, extra anger control again. What's even good about this card is, you know, you perform it, it hits, they lower their anger. You crit immediately, lower their anger. And then if it hits, you can lower your anger 1 to crit their anger again, so it's a potential anti-anger 3 card. Super, super strong. Aerial Assault, this is your dig. You could run dig in this deck. Again, I want to keep the freestyles down because I want to make sure I have that mastery modifier. But this is for sure mandatory in Videl. It gives you some anger potentially too. So, Mule Kick at 3 again. Attachment hate, so good. You got to play the strength of red. Mule Kick. There's no reason why this card shouldn't be in like every red deck ever. Powerful Strike, really, really good. This again another big anger card. That's really what this is for. Is just to kind of boost you up on some anger. It sucks that it's not an AT physical, so you don't really get much benefit with running it with Videl. But it's just a potentially 3 anger card. Because if you do mastery to play an attack, you get 2 anger immediately, and then they're probably not going to block this attack, so if it hits, the next attack you do again is going to give you another anger. So this is just a huge anger burst card. It's really fun when you do this card with Aerial Assault, where you play like an Aerial Assault, and then you copy an attack, and then this card, like that's like the ideal combat where you can just get like a whole level worth of anger really easily. But it's a lot of resources, but it's in here at a 2 for the anger, and you don't always want to see it. So right cross at 2. I threw this in here. It's mostly in here for the big anger gain. That's really what it's in here for. 3 anger on level 1, so pretty gnarly. The biggest issue with it is the stage cost, but I could definitely see this one getting cut. It's just mostly in here because it's big anger. We want to level with Videl really bad. Shoulder grab. This card is mandatory, I think, with Videl. Again, just pushing. I think if you're gonna run red Videl, you really should be pushing that critical damage, crit effects kind of threshold. That's her benefit of running her in red. That and the Ruthless modifier. So trying to play on those strengths is the best way to think to play her. We got red stack shot at 2 again because I don't have dig. This is like the dig supplement or replacement rather. People argue whether or not it's good with Videl. A lot of times it depends on the deck you're playing against. Like really defensive decks are going to be able to block this like no problem because they usually have onboard energy blocks. But a lot of decks that aren't running packing heavy on the block line, you're going to definitely be able to sneak this on them quite a bit. So it's pretty good, and it's 2 anger. So red sword stab, again big endurance. That's really what it's in here for. 84 physical, pretty beefy. Trailing Blast, like I explained, we have it at 2. I don't want to see it at 3, really, to be honest. You only want enough to get it with Unleashed. And Red Tandem Attack, this card is really good, especially with Mischievous when it was running around. Even without Mischievous, there's a lot of decks that can put a million cards in their hands. Supreme Kaigoku, 18, Yamcha, all of them, this card can get you an extra card draw, so super, super gnarly. And it's Endurance, 83 physical. Celestial Strike's a newer card. I threw this in here over Red Energy Blast. I used to run that a lot. Again, we have a lot of ally kill potential in this deck. It's mainly the drills that are going to be an issue in setups. Red does not have good setup hate at all. Even the energy options are terrible. So this is about the best you get here. It's nice that it's an 81 physical, and I say that in the sense that like it gives you 2 anger level 1. It can be a 6-stage physical on level 2 at the least, with the mastery going. So it's not the worst in the world. It's better than Red Energy Blast, which is just kind of, and I say it's better in the sense that like it synergizes better with this deck. But ultimately, is it a total replacement? No. And if you really do think that you need to be banishing allies, or drill's really bad, which you generally do, maybe this card isn't the right one for you, but I'm going mostly for the synergy. With how the meta is now, I think it's better to just pick something that, this generally speaking, is going to be better than an Energy Blast for you 90% of the time in a lot of your matchups. So we'll see. And again, I do have a lot of crits, so allies really shouldn't be an issue. Like I said, we got Heal Kick even, or sorry, Meal Kick even. We can banish one of our attached cards to get a crit, like Trailing Blast or Inferno, which I'll get to for a crit. And of course the knee lift is a crit, so, and shoulder grab is a crit, you know, making all of your other attacks crit. So just things to keep in mind. We get to, let's see, this Luster Strike. Okay, so those are the final attacks there. As far as what attacks could go in, like I said, Burn Energy Blast is one. I'll Dig Your Grave is one. People like Shoulder Slam. Again, I just don't like a lot of the freestyle attacks in Ruthless Videl. I think you need to push the styled synergy, and you need to really go for those attacks that are running the AT, which makes it like cards that are probably the most cuttable are going to be the Powerful Strike and the Right Cross. I could see running them at like 3-ofs entirely over running Unleash, but Unleash is just too synergistic with like the Trailing Blast combo alone is just too good with Videl, and Videl really does not want to get stuck on level 2 a lot of the time, so it's tough. But if I had to, I'm trying to think of like another red card I would add, another attack. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I really wouldn't add any more energies. You don't want those stage cost attacks, and that's what's hard about Shattering Leap, is there's times where I've never run this card in the deck. It's why Right Cross set at 2, really. It's because it's like, damn, when you see it against a physical matchup, you hate it, because it doesn't do you anything, but we just really want to get to level 3 and 4 really bad. Those are the most cuttable attacks, though. I'd say Shattering Leap probably at the bottom tier of that, the cuttables, but I would definitely put the, where the hell is it? the Powerful Strike and the Right Cross at the top of the cuttable list. But they're at 2s, they're mostly experiments now. If you think you're in a stage-heavy meta, don't run the Right Cross. I would run something else as far as what that is. Red Driving Knee is kind of neat. If you guys don't know what that is, that's the set 7 physical that can give you crit on hit, which is pretty cool, and if you gain stages, you get another anger. Videl has the ability to gain stages on her level 1 and her level 4. I don't think running any like discard effect cards is worth it for like the level 2 and Ruthless Videl. Nope. But yeah, I guess those are what my changes would be. I could definitely see cutting like the Right Cross for like Red Energy Blast, mainly just for the more tech. That's if I was going to go into a tournament and I really was worried about, if I tested this in a drill and I thought that I just couldn't do anything against it, then I would consider doing that. But again, ideally you're throwing the more anger in, you're trading off a little tech on the attacks, because level 3 and 4, especially level 3 is where you just want to sit if you're against a board deck, and so running like Right Cross and the anger cards over like some more tech I think is probably more ideal for most of the time, because level 3 can top deck a setup in a drill, so, or I can do a double crit, which is really cool. And like I said, 4 is just where when you want to kill someone, or if endgame you need to get some stages or put some cards back in, really good. So those are like the attack line. That's the bread butter of what you're doing. There really aren't too many more cards you can add. It's just kind of preference. I just don't like running a lot of stage costs in, but so far the Right Cross hasn't been bad in my little bit of testing with this version. But I think definitely tune it. She's definitely one of those things, like Ruthless in general is one of those things you may be kind of tuned to what you're playing against. So I wouldn't run her named cards in this. I've tried. I don't like them. Too many freestyle cards. Even with them having endurance, I just don't like them that much. Her kick card just doesn't do enough. You can get the same damage off of, and anger gain off plenty of other attacks. So, and we're not really needing to shuffle the deck that bad. We're not really rejuvenating. So there is one card that is kind of neat. One more card I will mention. I'm going on about the attacks forever because I think again it's this most important part about Videl. It's oh god, it's the red energy attack. I can't remember its name. You draw when you rejuvenate. That one's pretty cool. Where is it? It's like Blast or something. Said red something blast. Let's find it. Onslaught? No, not Onslaught. Right Blast. So this one's kind of cool with Videl because it's AT life cards plus 4 stages. Videl having like the static AT modifier makes this 3 life cards, 4 life cards, whatever. And level 4 you do rejuvenate, so it's kind of neat. But it's cute, and that's about it. So I don't know, not really worth it in my opinion. Yeah, but either way, the best. There's really not a whole lot of options in my opinion, like that are good. So take this with what you will. If you don't want to run Unleashed, you free yourself up a lot of spots, but you lose a lot of good utility. So we're gonna go to the block line now. Pretty light. You could definitely run more blocks. I could definitely see cutting. Maybe like the Forceful Strike or the Powerful Strike. Or right cross, sorry, the Powerful Strike for more blocks. But right now I'm running it pretty light just to test around with. 3 blocking hands, 3 brace. Pretty stable for every red deck are going to be running these. I got 3 stop for just the fact that it vanishes after use. It gets out of my pile. It's not in the way. So I can copy the attacks that I might have played that I wanted to do again. And then of course Time's Worst tool. And that's we'll go to one really nice thing about brace is that it gets itself out of the way. So if you play an attack that you like, and then you go block an energy attack, then you can go mastery for it again. You don't have to worry about brace being in the way versus like blocking hand gets in the way. If I was going to throw another physical block in, I would probably run Red Capture, I believe it's called. Yes, it's the set 5 block. This card is really, really cool. It gives you a big stage boost. Sometimes it makes it like a good block baiter, which is really cool. Kind of like Vegeta level 1, except like in the case this is like you can add up to like 10 extra stages on a random attack against someone, which is really cool. I might add this in right now actually. I think I'll keep it up for now, but and then of course the final events, like I said, Inferno is another attached card. It's our only other attached card. I could see Quick Blast coming into the deck, but meh, it's just a freestyle card, so it's the biggest issue with it. But it would get rid of that block issue with it blocks being on top of the pile. So Red Inferno, of course, though, it gives you that reveal crit. So again, we're just pushing the crit threshold. It's super, super good. You master reveal a card, you're gonna get a crit. Videl level 3 can crit. Shoulder grab, driving knee, meal kick. You can always, worst case scenario, you meal kick an Inferno that's attached to you, or a trailing blast. I'm looking at my list over here. Trailing blast that's on you, and it gives you another crit. So you were just pushing crits in this deck, ideally, and just pushing crits and anger to go up to 3. And like I said, you might want to even try to run some cards that can like drop you a level or lower your anger some more. Like Red Jump Kick even could be decent, but I wouldn't bother with that probably. But if you want to, you know, this one that's if it hits, you lower both players' level. Probably wouldn't fuck with this. You just really want to be up on 3 and 4 really bad with Videl, so trying to push that really hard. If it ends up being too much anger for me in the long run, or I'm just never getting off the good anger gains that I want with Powerful Strike and Right Cross. Again, they're at 2s because they're testy, and I always kind of like kick these cards out of the deck a lot of time. You know, I'll throw in probably like 2 Red Energy Blast and Captures and call it a day. So, but could definitely run more blocks. If I was going to run more blocks, it would just be physicals though. So you could run on the move, but again, it's just really messing with the styled count. So you want to go for styled synergy above all else first, and then trickle in the freestyles. So, but hopefully this list gives you some idea. Maybe you have different opinions. Maybe you are like a person that just is adamant about running I'll Dig a Grave. Because again, I'll Dig a Grave, you know, bumping you up a level on hit could actually be really beneficial in the right matchup, you know, and it's even a board clear potentially with drills and stuff, bumping them out of place. So really up to you. She definitely could benefit from Dig, but for now in Ruthless, I prefer not to run Dig in most of my Ruthless decks. So anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Take it easy. Peace.